Hello all my Kenvians, PapaKenn here, and today I'm going to be doing a special video that will mostly be fast forwarding because today I'm going to be working on putting together a RetroPie. And if you don't know what that is, it's essentially taking one of these, a Raspberry Pi, which is essentially a credit card sized computer, or the insides of a computer rather, that can be done in many, well, it can be utilized in many different ways. I'm not going to go into the details on that for obvious reasons, other than me stuttering. And I'm going to use that to create essentially a retro gaming machine, or a very small retro gaming console. Someone honked a horn outside. I don't know if that's going to show up on camera. But I'm going to give it a little bit of style using this NES styled, or rather the original Nintendo Entertainment System styled case for the Raspberry Pi. It's from Old School brand, spelled with a K, because, you know, misspelling things with a K is cool. And in order to power all this, I have a power supply that is actually a micro USB power supply. You'll want to look for certain ones that actually say they're a power supply for the Raspberry Pi, as this one does, because they know what they're talking about. And then also, in order to get the actual RetroPie aspect to this working, the software on the inside, we have a micro SD card. And, well, obviously with a converter, and I'm going to be installing the software for that off screen. And then, of course, for testing purposes, we have a USB Super Nintendo controller from RetroLink. And, well, obviously I'm going to be getting a NES controller to use with it as well, but, I mean, considering what all you can use this for, which is emulation, yes, the horrid E word that everyone thinks is terrible, but anyway, is like, you know, it would make more sense to have a Super Nintendo styled case, but this is the one that I could actually find that was available. And, you know, you can play all kinds of different games, and in my opinion, the Super Nintendo controller is basically the epitome of classic styled controllers. That's in my personal opinion anyway. But I'm going to get right into this. Again, there's going to be a lot of fast forwarding, fast motion. Might stop things to talk a little bit whenever there are some, at least what I find, interesting things going on. But in the meantime, yeah, let's begin the video, and I hope you all enjoy this little fast motion fun times I'm knocking this around. Anyway, let's get right into it. Alright, so I have the RetroPie downloaded to the mini SD card. Just so you know, this is actually a 16 gigabyte. According to the instructions I've read, all you really need is a 8 gigabyte micro SD card. Of course, you can make it as big as you want. Most game ROMs are not going to be huge, so you might not have to go too large. But for my purposes, 16 gigabytes is definitely more than enough. If you feel like doing any of this your own, like I said, just make sure you have at least an 8 gigabyte micro SD card. As for the rest of the process here, as you can see, we have the NES old school RetroPie case put together, well, and the computer essentially. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this home and put it together, or go through the final process there, because I'll be able to do this in the old office, aka the new game room, and I'll be able to set up my computer right on the TV that I use, so that we'll be able to go through the entire process, or rather, you all will be able to go through the process with me. The fast motion, of course, but still you'll be able to at least see what's going on at a decent resolution. So we'll go over to that right now. Hello all my Kenvians, and welcome again, or, well, after that little transition. As you can see, again, I have the NES-styled RetroPie all put together, with the exception of one thing, and that is, of course, the properly formatted mini SD card. I think I was calling it a micro SD card before, but it's... Actually, I was wrong. It is a micro SD card. It's not a mini. Anyway, so what we do is we will just put it right in here. And hopefully get it in straight. Oh, well, unless it's actually supposed to go this way. Hey, there we go. My brain works every now and then. But now, all we need to do is hook it up to, well, in this case the TV, that or the monitor, which with an HDMI cord. That can't be good. Alright, well that's put back together, and hopefully it doesn't mean the HDMI cord is going to explode on me. But also we have to plug in the power. So, I think if you hook this up, you definitely want to have something that's a little bit more flexible. This HDMI cord is a little bit older, so might not be ideal, but we do have our power cord here. Oh, and it looks to be booting on, so I will switch the camera over to the TV momentarily. Whoa, okay, so we're in focus there finally. Hey, the RetroPie. And, wow. Okay, yeah, so the colors from the recording aren't gonna look great here, but hopefully at the very least it'll be consistent as far as the color goes. Get my remote, see if job is running. All interfaces. Oh, a start job, okay. I'll get the USB controller here. Emulation station. Welcome, no gamepads detected. Oh, okay, well first of all, I'm going to get my USB keyboard here plugged in. That's definitely a must if you're wanting to get this thing set up properly to begin with. Go ahead and plug that in. And now I'll also get my Super Nintendo controller plugged in. Which, from what I've read, you can actually use pretty much any USB, well, most USB controllers, including PlayStation 3, probably PlayStation 4, Xbox, so on and so forth. So let's see, hold a button on the device to configure it. Okay. Oh, okay, so here we go. We just kind of go through and select. So D-pad up, D-pad down, D-pad left, D-pad right, start, select, A, B, X, Y, left shoulder, right shoulder. Oh. Well, this only has these two, so I wonder, actually, cannot actually control through the keyboard at the moment. That's annoying. Okay, so, left trigger. Already taken. Yes, I know. Well, this is frustrating. So I would think, let's see, it said F4 earlier. Left shoulder, right shoulder. Ah, okay. So can hold on to hold down other buttons. or the A button at least. Okay. Okay. I like this. I like this. You didn't choose a hotkey enable button. This is required for exiting games with a controller. Do you want to use the select button default? Yes. Hey, there we go. Okay, so that wasn't quite as frustrating. Quite as frustrating as I thought it might be. So convenience, as you can see, the RetroPie is working. I'm definitely going to have to take some time to unload the ROMs that I want to play here, but I figured, you know, for the sake of this being a video, I would just use a couple of ones that I actually own, you know, for legality's sake. But if you have any questions about the RetroPie, I know I definitely ran into some issues during this process, but you gotta learn somehow. But yeah, like I said, if you have any questions, if you're interested at all in making your own RetroPie, let me know. I will include links to the parts that I use down below. And until next time, everyone, I hope you have a great day, and be seeing you soon. Until next time, everyone, I will see you in the next video.